The impact of eating disorders on a person's life, it can be just huge. It varies from eating disorder to eating disorder, but at the time when someone is actively engaged in their eating disorder, it impacts their health for the short term, but it can impact for the long term. And it impacts their social and their relationships. People with eating disorders tend to withdraw from relationships and they try to be secretive, so it can have a huge impact on their relationships and their social life. So as a student, that's really a huge impact. Impacts are short term, but there are a few health impacts that can be long term. With anorexia nervosa, there can be long term damage to the brain, and we're also finding, well, we're not for sure, but we think that there's also long term changes in the gut. We have a multidisciplinary eating disorder network. With eating disorders, we know that treatment is most successful if you have a physician involved who specializes in eating disorders. So not just any physician, but someone who really knows eating disorders. You also need a therapist that's skilled in eating disorders, and a dietitian, and sometimes a psychiatrist.
As a physician, I say that I take care of neck down for our students. So I want to make sure a couple of things. I want to make sure that they're medically stable. I also want to make sure that there's not another cause for either weight gain or weight loss that might be completely unrelated to how they eat. And then I help coordinate the care with a dietitian or a psychologist or a higher level of care if that's necessary. Persons that are close to someone with an eating disorder, there's a lot of ways that they can help support them, but probably most importantly is helping them seek the right level of care, the correct level of care for that person, whether it's a physician or a therapist or a dietitian, and just trying to be supportive. When people with eating disorders start to have their friends or their family become the food police, that typically leads to resentment and isn't very effective.
Of things that are vital to someone's recovery, it really is engaging in all three pieces of the treatment, so the medical, the nutrition, and the therapy part. And then it really is recognizing that eating disorders don't just go away just like that. It's not just magic. So yeah, having a plan to recognize when things are starting to slip, or recognizing what their triggers are, and then what to do about that. It's not unusual for someone with an eating disorder to have to go through treatment multiple times.